This is 30 minutes with the shows that explores the secrets of different careers. What if you could have the blueprint to your career? What if you could attain professionality in that career you wish? Not only obtaining professionality, or also getting interest and also getting interest in what you do. Today is no exception as I interview the co-founder of Decoders, a medicine student. Today in the studio with me is Monshood Abdul-Ak. Please, could you give a brief introduction about yourself?
Thank you. I am Moshe Haq. I'm a medical student, second year, and I'm also the co-founder of Decoders Hub. And lastly, I'm a business consultant. That's all.
Okay, so let me pose this question to you. What sparked your interest in business consultancy?
I started this journey, the whole journey in the tech space and business space, 2023 around the time. I actually didn't start with business. I started as a web developer.
Oh,
And
wow.
during that period, I built websites and primarily front-end development. As most people in this tech ecosystem, when they want to start their career in tech, they mostly start with HTML,
Yes,
CSS,
yes, well, yeah,
and
true.
JavaScript. So I
Yes.
wasn't an exception. I started the journey into this um, web development, and
Okay.
I started this business consultation part late last year. That is around September, October downward. So actually, I wasn't doing that quite well in web development front end.
It's
So I was thinking of which other thing can I do. What actually is my strength, and I wanted to leave the web development part. The turning point I can say turn everything around for me was a hackathon I attended around March to April. I attended a hackathon. We actually built a project to aid election process in Nigeria.
oh wow.
So when we built the project, I and my team, that time Decoder started as a team of three. We were three. We weren't a, an incorporated company or organization that time. So we started as a team of three. We went to the hackathon and we actually built a real life project with AI integrated there.
Hmm.
But to my surprise, we weren't chosen among the first three for the hackathon. At first, as a normal person, as human being, I was thinking that no, this thing was rigged. But later, as we proceeded in the journey, during June, I had the opportunity to explore some other career path, and that would led me to business. To everything, there's a business part of it, and I'll take this quote from one of my lecturers here. Um, I'm a medical student, I mentioned earlier. On his first class with us, he mentioned that for every part you are taking, there's always the business side.
True.
He said he gave an example. It was physiology lecturer. He said, if you say you want to do physiology than your forefather, you are deceiving yourself. You cannot do it more than them. In fact, you learn exactly what they have done. You are restricted to what they have done in physiology because for medical practitioner, the human body is the human body. Nothing is changing in the human body. So to every side, there's the business part, and I think this career is business consultation is a very wide part that can be applied to every field, and that's why I chose business consultation.
I focus on a particular part in business consultation?
Mostly is about scaling and also IT integration in your business.
In your
How you
business.
can I have a technological background. I'm a techie, so I think if I can explore the part of teaching people, educating people, implementing technological integration into businesses, mostly small and medium businesses for now. So if we can implement that, it will actually go a long way.
So why did you decide that? Since you were once into the tech ecosystem, you're into the tech ecosystem. What is that thing that drives you that made you know? Oh, you made you decide that no, you have to pursue a career in business consultancy.
I mentioned it earlier. What led me to business consultancy or consultation was actually that I'm not doing well in um in front-end development. I learned HTML, CSS, and at Decoders, the first cohort we have was front-end development. I was one of their tutor. I tutored JavaScript, this thing. But I decided that I came to a realization that if I want to proceed, I want to be able to proceed because of number one, I'm a medical student, the job is quite tight, and learning frameworks, HTML, CSS,
Yeah,
JavaScript is not
definitely.
enough
Yes,
for
you
you
need
to be.
frameworks like
And I
Bootstrap.
believe that any career you choose, you mustn't be the backbencher there. You must be part of the top. So I believe that if I continue in front end development, I will not be anything. I'll just be that guy sitting at the back every time with no development because of I have not been able to learn other framework. And I think the most common framework was React during
Mm,
the and it's still React. So I wasn't able to learn um the React. And when I see job description, I'll see for
mm,
developer needed with React. I say I'm
yes.
not able to learn this thing. So why don't I pause and check other
Career.
career that is even more in line with my pathway in medical path? And as I mentioned, so every part of a career there's a business side. I said let me just take the business side and continue the business side.
Truly, there's a business part to every career part. Even, even even medicine. There's the business part. So, if you could give me a brief understanding of what you guys do at Decoders.
So Decoders Hub is basically we are into tech trainings and we take things as a unit. So what I mean by as a unit is individual. We give as we take individual as a unit, we take business as a unit. So we are basically into tech trainings. One, number two, business consultation. In tech training, term of business oriented tech skills. Like for now, you won't see front-end development. It's not business oriented at Decoders, but you'll see business oriented skills like product management, UI UX. So we are mostly in the business part of the tech skills. And for also businesses, what we do with businesses mostly is how to scale. It depends on the level your business is. So when you come to us for consultation, we check what level are you, what are your aim, and we help you achieve that aim. So we do branding, IT integration. If you need websites or anything technological part about the business, we are into it. And I think that's basically what we do.
Looking back now, what do you think after you've started? Looking back now, what will you say that you could point at that made you made you start or made you bring thought of the idea of bringing people together to start Decoders?
Okay, Decoder Hub was actually my idea. It wasn't actually my idea, it was that of my friend, Climax. We were friends since primary school and we were lucky to meet again at
University, yeah.
university, across the university, might be. So the first week I resumed school, I met him again. I was like, oh, and I realized that we are both in the tech space, and he introduced me to the tech ecosystem here at Kwasi University, Malete. So when we had some conversation, he said he had an idea. He had been implementing it. He used to take tech trainings, individual tech trainings to people. I said he want to take it on a more large scale and make it be a public thing, not just one-on-one training again. So I said, okay, that's a good idea. We started planning on how we can do it, and we actually had the idea on I think Thursday, and we started implementing the idea on Friday. So the first thing we did, we held an event. So what I want to say is one of the things that make us stand by and make us grow fast is the speed at which we do things. So we had the idea on Thursday. Friday, we started implementing it. We look for a speaker. We have no money at that time. I want to hold
True.
an event.
Hmm.
So we're thinking, how can we do it? So we said, he's a computer science student. He said, okay, he can go about it. He contacted the president during that time at Mujab. So he contacted the president and said, okay, we want to offer a service for you. We want to educate your people in your department computer science on the importance of front-end development in their career paths as a computer science student. And actually, we were actually looking forward to launch a front-end web development class. So after that, when Al-Mujab said, okay, no problem, he provided the public address system and the venue in which we used at that time. I was like, okay, the next thing is who can be the speaker? We need someone that is that big enough to encourage people to show up. So we contacted Alia, the
Okay.
former
GDK lady.
GDSC, it's now GDOC.
Okay,
It's now
GDOC.
GDOC now. So before it was GDSC, that is Good Development Student Club. So we contacted Alia and said she agreed that okay, you want to do it for the community. Um, and I'm using this opportunity to thank her if you're watching this video.
Okay.
So when we contacted Alia, everything was set that day. So in any part you are going through, and you are working, or in any part you are going through, you surely encounter some challenges. So what are the challenges you encountered for this first program? So funny enough, when we reached the venue, we did not see any public address system.
Wow.
We were expecting a max guest of 100, and we are using the LRG in the ICT. Right? But to our surprise, we see over 500
Wow.
attendants.
Wow, that's
The picture
massive.
is on our Instagram page. So we have to relocate from LRG to the
Saying
auditorium.
this for you to pull up that number of people is kind of massive because
Uh,
I too I understand it's something I've done publicity for an event before. We expect I've done publicity for events once, and to see people turn up is something very massive because we live in a student area. Once people don't see, should I put it, what instant gain in what they are doing, they don't tend to show up. You have things like uh share they go share food.
yes, yes, yes. I
You hear things
will.
like I don't get if they go pay for my TP. You hear
I
things like that.
understand.
So it's kind of massive. 500 students.
It's more than 500. The ICT auditorium was full that day. Actually full that day.
Wow. I
So
know categorically. I think it's over 700 seater capacity of
yes, I think so.
ICT.
I
Wow.
don't know definitely, but I think it should be more than 500. And that is
Yes.
the auditorium was full that day for sure. So what's led to that? I'll share it.
Okay, please do share it with us.
So when we when we located to the ICT auditorium, the initial plan was 100 people. We will still use the public address system, but it wasn't that of great importance. But upon relocating to the ICT auditorium with that mass listen, attendance to the event, so the public address system was not ready.
Hmm.
The vice president of computer science, who is now the current president of ICT now, memories. So he said the place they used to put the my
Public.
public address system, they will first of all come to an office before their office, and the person in custodian of that first office is not around. So the key, they cannot access the public address system. They're like, what will we do? So everything was self-funded. We tried to sort out for public address system from neighboring faculty, but it was on Friday. The school is not that active on Friday. So we tried everything to do, and to our surprise, it was a success. It
Thank
was a
God.
success. So what led to that mass at participants? As a business consultant, I think this is a lesson everybody should take home. That the timing is very, very important for any business you want to do.
Hmm.
Timing. It's all
Timing.
about timing. So how did timing come in place here? The timing in the sense that when we started the publicity, it's come in the perfect time. The time where students are just resuming, fresher haven't started lecture, and so much variable that contribute to it. So fresher haven't started lecture, students are just resuming. And that time I think there was some kind of slow processing in the school, like slow development in the school during that time. We did not quickly start lectures during that time. So the fresher are very eager
Yeah.
to attend school, to even attend something and say, now I'm a student.
True.
Like, okay, I know those go and count the number of shuttle in school. I'm officially a student now.
Yeah.
So most when we brought out the flyer and say ICT LRG, they thought most of them thought that maybe this was our first lecture.
Oh,
Maybe this is our first lecture that we'll take in as a student.
students.
Originally, most of those computer science were so they're like because most people who attended was they were like freshers and some still I still attended, but the ratio is like 4:1.
Yeah, I understand.
So they were eager to just attend something. So after that, we launched. We did not launch. We were planning to launch the um training December. So, but we were not able to launch it until February, the 2020, the last year, that's 2024. Then we launched. We were supposed to launch it December 2023. We launched the this in December 2024, and that's because of resources. We are just starting out as a team, not even an incorporated company that time. So we started as a team. We need the space we use, resources we use. We're trying to sort out for those things, and that led to we are trying to process the school, like maybe even inside the school, but due to some policies and some other
Yes, I
those
understand
things.
that how bureaucracy could affect those kind
Uh,
of things.
yeah, so we're trying to sort out for space. We're not able to space, but later we were able to bypass some things, and we just had to our first. So where we should take a lesson here in terms of launching the program late was we had that spear at first, and out of that 700 people, the tendency we should have like 20 people register for the course, and but because of its delayed, the interest is gone. We have the velocity is no more there, so we had just 5 people register for the course, and we even pushed Trav like you to come and join. So we go for it. We did tough marketing in order to get those 5 because of that velocity is gone. The interest is already
Really?
fading away. When you
Yes.
start with that velocity, you should continue with it. But there's this point because it's a career path show. So there's this point I do say is that before you start going with that velocity, you will try to know you are going the right direction. Your speed is useless if you are going the wrong direction. You will end up failing. So the right direction in the sense that when we started, we calculated that okay, for this Malite, is this the best thing we can offer? And we said, okay, when we calculate the variable, we consider the precedent, we use our research and say, yeah, this is actually what is needed in Malite. Malite is kind of isolated. There are tech training hub in Ilorin, countless of them.
Yes.
When a lot of them that they are in Ilorin. But here in Malete, students are quite constricted to some things. For example, because if you say you want to learn a tech skill, you have to reach Ilorin. There's no avenue to do that here in Malete. So you have to reach Ilorin. And if you calculate the
Cost of
cost of
transportation.
transportation, the tuition you pay there and everything, you see that it's more voluminous and it's
Really?
more expensive
Mm.
to do than just to stay in Malete here. But another thing is that they know that okay, um it is cost, but they are not still willing to pay. They be like you in Malete here, what can you offer us? So that the challenges we encountered starting out in the
I
career
understand
path.
the angle you're coming from. People, when you're just starting off, people don't tend to believe in what you're doing until you've proven to them what you can do. For me, myself, when I was starting off, I wanted to start as an MC. I am a public speaker. I think we've met in quite some competitions.
Yes, we've met in
Yes,
conversation.
we met in speech work.
Yes, picture, picture.
So we after the event was over, I said I wanted to go into emceeing. So I contacted different people that I know. Do you have any events coming up? What's up? Let me just be there. Let me just do, even if it's just with someone. And the issue I kind of faced was that, okay, we are just starting off. You don't trust what you can do. What should I give you? I don't trust the value you have. I don't trust whether you could manage this stage. Fine, I've seen some things you've done. They might be quite impressive, but in this category, I just starting off as I don't trust what you can. So until you have proven yourself worthy enough to do that, I understand why people are always reluctant Yes, I understand why people always reluctant to give that kind of. So please let me pose this question to you. You're not the only one, right? So you have other team members you're working with. You have other co-founders. How has it been working with people? It's when it comes to working with people, it comes with its own challenges. I have this idea, you have that. I have my own mentality set on this. You have your own. We bringing it together always cause issues sometimes. And how do you go about?
Okay, yeah, I got some one of my mentors, VC, that when
Oh,
starting out
VC.
the University Temple File, I listened to his speech a lot. So when starting out a company, he said you should will have your first 12, which at the end will go to the first three. So the first 12 are the people who started together, and the three are the people who have direct access to the person who owns the company. So when we started, we were two. That is me and the climax we are talking about. But how come I'm the one spearheading everything now is that at a point in a business life, when you realize that I can't undo it, I'm the owner of the idea, but I can't push out the idea. It's better you should step down for the interest of the business. So starting out in business space, I have no knowledge about it, but I came to realize that I need to one learn about how business operates. Then I learn about how business operates, and the question you asked are how were we able to manage the team? So that's a very critical part in starting out a business or any corporate company. And learning about business made me realize that there are more to managing a company, and that what even led me to fully into business consultation. When I learned how to manage decoders, I was saying, okay, how can I implement this in other sense? And again, Decoders started as a training company, and I think the competition is too high, so there must be something unique about us that we're offering, and that led to, okay, we'll be teaching training in line with business. Our tech training will be business oriented.
Oriented.
That is another thing is when you are starting out something, make sure you have that value proposition you define. You should have something unique, very unique. So we have multiple training hubs, and even though in the Malete year we have some communities in which we do take training. But how do we say we should stand out? Is that we should make our own business oriented, which we haven't seen in our community yet.
What can you share your insight on how you balance how can you balance your academics with your practice and business? Because business has to do with balancing things, and how can you balance it? Your
Yeah, I
academics, because it is important as students that we're still, most of us, some of us about to finish, are just starting off. And you always pose the question that a lot of people say that yes, I have to face our primary assignment here is to study, but it doesn't mean we can manage business with it. So how can we effectively manage those two things?
So I get this question a lot. There's no gathering I go to, maybe a workshop or an event and speak, and they tell me, okay, well, you are you a medical student and a techie for that matter. So I get this question a lot. How can you manage it? Right now, I can't see particular strategy. All I know is that there's nothing to balance. What you need is harmony. The question is, I believe asking the question, how can you balance it is wrong, but how can you harmonize it? And this in line with someone asked Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon, this question that how do you balance his work life and his marital life? He said there's nothing to balance there, it's just to harmonize it. So what I do personally is that when I'm in the field, when I'm doing acting as a techie, I do it fully. I think, oh, this is very good. This, and when I'm in medical field too, I try my best. So just try to give your best, and everything for me, everything will turn out to be balanced or to be harmonized, not balanced here. I think there's nothing to balance. If you say you want to attain balance, both of them cannot be solid. One will have to, at the point in time, one will have to go for another one. At point in time, the other one goes. But knowing the right time that this one should come down, this one should go up, is what matters a lot. Not both of them being on the
Thinking that
same.
okay.
Both of them can never be on the same page. So one will have to come down at the point, one will have to go up. I think mostly what I do is when I have exams or some major um tech events, at that point, I know personally that the things I'm supposed to read as a medical student, we read every day. So if you are supposed to read it at that point in time, it's gone already. So point is you can't balance it, rather harmonize it.
Okay. What books, podcasts will you recommend for someone going into business consultancy, or even starting his own career, just wanted to have his own thing? What books? Uh,
Books, podcast. Personally, about podcast, I don't listen to podcasts, so I'm sorry
okay.
about that. I don't listen to podcasts, but books, I learn mostly from audio visuals, not
Okay.
by reading.
Okay. So
So,
what audiovisual?
I don't know some people name. I just see them. I'm not that familiar with names. I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem.
Names, even though I'm not that comfortable with names. Well, the only person I can say is Full September Kwayo.
Okay.
I can mention speak with Sahil too for public speaking. I do listen to it. There's one female too. I'm not sure what her name. And shows I watch a lot. Shark Tanks.
Okay, Shark Tanks.
Shark Tanks. I watch the Nigeria version. That is Lion's
Yeah.
Den, Ultima Lion. So I watched that
Have you
too.
heard of AYE?
AYE. I
Yeah,
haven't
it's
really heard
another
of it.
show. It's like another show like Shark Tank, but that one's for Africa.
For Africa, I don't know
Yeah.
about that AYE, but I know about Dragons Den too. That
Okay.
one, Dragons Den, and I mentioned Lions Den too. So I think those things have improved me a lot. And again, you should actually gain knowledge, to actually gain actual knowledge from you can read books. I've read a couple of books. Lean Startup, the Lean Startup by I think Eric Rice or Eric. I'm not sure about the
Okay.
name.
Okay. Okay.
The Lean Startup and some multiple books, like countless
Have
books,
you heard
PDFs.
of 0 to 1?
0 to 1, no.
That book actually, it's something that inspired me to start something. 0 to 1 is a book that explores how most of these days it's the perfect book for a startup. This book talk about how these days we've moved from zero, we've moved from 1 to n, with some going from 0 to 1. What? Let me explain what they mean by zero. Like we've stopped inventing. The only thing we are doing is innovating on the things that we've done. The book explores that we've left the stages, even the mentality of we having developed country, developing countries, and undeveloped countries shows itself that we believe that we've reached a stage where we've discovered all. What we are doing now is just moving from that end point, from that 1 to n. Just keep building on those things that have been done. This book was written by the co-founder of PayPal. It talks about how from their initialization stage, how they came up with the idea, how they upscaled and did, like, literally moved from that 0 to 1 and from that 1 to n. It's actually a course that I taught at, is it Harvard? A particular student jotted the notes down. So with our students, they now revised the book. So it's a book.
Okay, I'll take note. I'll try to read it too.
Okay,
But Lean
thank
Startup is actually more of
you.
applied integration of how startup runs. Lean Startup is actually is a book that startups has their own separate rule that governs them, which is different from normal big tech companies that we see. So how to Number one is when they say lean in project management is actually something which is not stable, that changes over time, it's flexible, changes over time.
Yeah.
So the startup world changes over time, the operations changes, the administration changes. So how to balance the startup in this time of changes is what it's about. And I think as a business consultant over the years, something I noticed about business and startup generally is that it's not about starting that is a problem, but about maintaining the
Consistency.
about
What?
maintaining the business. For example, a guy came to me. He sells gadgets right time from when he was in school. He was in school. He sells gadgets. So my system, I bought it from him actually.
Oh,
It was that how we came to know each other. So he came to me after he graduated and was like, he wants to have
Oh,
you want to start his business and you started already and you know you sell laptop and said no you haven't started that is actually just wanting to start so we want to implement some things for him from branding so everything you need to start up a perfect business and consultation and marketing strategy and everything so I was like most people now most we say we have plenty business owners okay, you see this one bring out chemical this kitchen, chemical shine locks, most of them. But is that actually the definition of a business? Most people don't know the fundamental of businesses, and that's what we are trying to implement at Decoders. And the funniest thing is that most people are ignorant about this, that they're actually not running a business. And when they say
yeah.
ignorance, it's not that they don't know, but that they know, but they are ignoring it. That is ignorance. So they know, but they are ignoring it. Most people know so businesses need some virtue perfect thing to run. For example, how would you tell me? I once consulted with someone, a business, she sell hair accessory. And I said, okay, in this past 6 months, can you say stop profit? I was like, no, I can't say it. I said,
Yeah, people. Sorry if I might cut you off. I'm someone studying finance in Wasu, and I've met something I've come to realize is that people don't know the importance of accounting or even finance itself. People just think, maybe it's so simple mathematics. Is what I sell. This is how much I sell. This
and
is how
this,
much I gain. This is it is more than that. Saying
yeah.
there are a lot of things in place you have to put in place. There are a lot of things you have to check for you to know that am I actually making profit. In real time, you might be making profit, but your cash flow,
Cash flow.
yes, you might
So
not have cash flow. But in real time, you might be highly geared as a company. Those are things you have to check. You might not be liquid. Yes, you made profit, but you might not be liquid. If anything happened to you, your business might run into loss. So there are a lot of things that have to be in place. I totally agree with you. But
so
and people tend to ignore them. I understand the angle you're coming from. So I'm
so
studying
in that
finance.
sense, when we consider a business, I say, okay, there are three things you need as primarily as a business in
Okay,
terms of
three
finance,
things:
marketing,
finance,
marketing.
marketing.
And also we can put the branding, brand identity and the other. So in finance, that is you have the balance sheets, profit and loss statement and the cash flow. So in marketing, you just have to know the right marketing strategy, time to enter. And I mentioned earlier that time is very, very important. So you should know the offer you give, the time you give, and how and branding comes from how you position yourself in that industry you are. So most people tend to ignore this. I just say, okay, as long as I'm making sales every day, the business is alive. No, the business is not alive. Another important part of businesses running today is um scaling. So our business shouldn't run on um business should run on system rather than it should be on you. Some people, if they are gone, the business is gone. Business should so these are things we tend to correct among small businesses today. But another issue that they know they are ignoring. So there is a lot of work to do in this field in educating people. And these things are what technology comes in to help. Technology primarily functions to help people. So in terms of managing finance, there are applications you use in managing finances. A lot of them, tons of them, inventory management and everything. But people tend not to use this software available. In terms of marketing, there's actually not a particular solution for marketing. But we're working on one on Decoder in Decoders Hub right now.
Oh
And that
wow.
is solution for marketing for small businesses. So working on that high sphere. We should be launching towards the end of this year by God's grace. So and thirdly, brand identity. Some people just get to go to one AI and they say generate a logo for me. I'm selling cap. And you see the logo and everything, and you'd be like, is this actually a business? I can't even entrust my money with you with this kind of logo you are displaying, this kind of identity. And people tend to take identity as only logo alone, but it's more than that. It depends on proposition and a lot of things guiding the identity of a business. So identity is very, very important when in digital space. For someone who have a shop, the identity is not actually that very of importance for him, because when I have a shop and you are seeing me as a person, you will just say, okay, give me like I'm selling gala now, give me one gala, collect it. But you that want to sell gala on the online space, you have to have that identity attached to you. Like there's not every time they will see you as, so when they see that identity, they should identify you as a business and not as an individual. And that's where what scaling is. You should operate on a system, rather the business should be on you. You should have a system in which the business run. I can give you a good example of one computer hub, one laptops, they sell laptops, HOK computers. So yeah, he actually made students like me too. I think he's in fourth year in medical school now. So he actually understood these key and important things, and he started as selling laptops in the way this other guy who came to me that I want to start a business, he started the same way on the online space. But he has this knowledge on how business should run, what are the key things business needs, kind of identity and all. And right now we have opened a big computer store in Ilorin, Kwara State now. So that is the importance of knowing how business should run and business consultation in general. But people tend to ignore this. But some people I'll say, come, let me give you free consultation. I say your business is suffering. They'll say no, I don't have time, stuff like that. As long as I'm making sales, that's all. Really, that's not enough to hold your business. And then at the end of the day, you later knowing that I'm not having a business. I'm just wasting my time.
To the last question for today, what is the major skill, soft skill you think any any startup should have, or any business person, someone just starting up, or a businessman should have?
Okay, businessman, the first skill you should have is communication skills. It's very, very important because when you're starting, you can't start alone. You should be able to communicate. I took a course of recent about actually venture capital course, and the first thing you do as a startup is to look for co-founder, and it level up to your way of communicating what you are envisioning, what you're trying to do, how you can communicate it to people to join you on that mission, how you can communicate to investors to invest in you in starting out that business. So communication is first skill you should have as someone with idea, to communicate to people to buy into that your idea. I think that is the topmost skill you should have as a startup owner.
What do you think importance of networking to any startup? What do you think? What's the importance of networking? Because I've always been hearing network, try to connect with people. You have to connect with people. You have to connect with people. That's what I keep hearing from people. A lot of people. You have to connect with people in your field. So what do you think?
Yeah, networking is actually something that I'm not so good at doing, networking, but I have to learn it because of the field I decided to venture into. I'll be quoting for Vose again. I like Vose a lot. He said capital is not enough to run a business. It's at the end of the day the level up to the relationship you build with people, which is the network. So in terms of networking, it's very, very important for you as a business, not even as a business, as a human being to network. You can't do it alone. Finding a co-founder, as I mentioned, when the first thing is having a startup, it comes down to your network too. Because you can't go walk down to a stranger and say, let's start a company. It depends on the network you have, or the experts you have among you, your friends, your families, that will have that privilege for you to access and say, okay, let's start this thing together. I see this thing has this kind of vision. Number two is in the funding series, we have the idea stage, the co-founder stage, the friend and family stage. So that friend and family stage comes down to your network too. The first people that will raise money for you when you're starting out is your networks. People you can reach around you before you can go outside and say, okay, I'm looking for another investor outside, an angel investor, or want to fund. So network is
Sorry,
very,
I
very
have
important.
something to say pertaining to that. Looking for investors. One thing I learned, should I put it the hard way, when you are looking for investors is you don't bore them. When you're looking for investors, you don't you do you should be able to speak about your business within a single minute, no matter how big your business is. It should be something you could summarize into one thing. I don't know how big that business wants to be. It is something you can summarize into one, because those people you are tending to look for are people who are very, very busy. Once you start boring them with talks about, and when you log into my app, when you do this, when you do that, you could summarize everything your business does in 30 seconds.
Yes.
Then, if they choose to want to know more, then I ask more. Okay, how do you then go about funding? How do you then go about this? Because I recently I went for a particular event. I was trying to. Then I noticed most of them were getting bored. Someone called me and then explained something to me. After I walked up to some other people to try that trick with them, and I was able to get a better result. This show is not only about. It's not only about uh, it's not only about bringing people, it's about learning things that are very, very crucial to each career path. I don't want to know the career path you are. Networking is important, and learning how to network is very, very important. So I'm very sorry for that. Just to.
Okay. So the friend and families I was talking, the friend and families before it comes to our major investor, crowdfunding and IPOs, another series of investment phase. So networking is very, very important, and that was one of the things that affected me a lot in building this company. And initially, when me and my co-founder, that is the climax, when we go for an event like that, I leave the networking to him, and I take the technical side. I did not concern him. Just go network for, go and connect people who will help us, and I'll take the technical side about the lesson, and we'll come to learn here. So at that point, but at the point, Clement had to withdraw from operation, leaving me alone in the company. Um, so when he withdraw, I had to realize that, oh no, I should have networked. And because at the point when you network with your identity and not mostly your company identity. They tend to see you first before they see the company you are building. And that's why when you want to go and pitch your business to anybody, if you are looking tattered, no matter how good your business is you they will first see before they see the business. The person you are, that what is first prominent about you.
Last episode, surprisingly, the last guest we brought was also saying the same thing. He deeply explored saying that if you are not dressing well, how should I know that I could trust my money with you?
Yes, yes. Additional, another person I like to let me mention this. Another person I like to listen to is um content on this is additional. He's very popular guy in the business world, so he's a realtor. So he mentioned things about this a lot. He said that you have to see that people have to see you as a person you can trust your money with. That's why when you some people when they are bidding for contract, you see this guy, a 30 million contract for example, you see this guy with that comes with taxi and you see this guy with his own car coming. You believe that this guy won't have that knowledge to handle this large amount of money with than this guy who is stable by himself. So the way you have some people say fake it till you make it, which is quite true in some cases. You want to bid for a contract, you are going tattered. Okay, you say, okay, these are I am. They should see me the way. No, you have to touch up some things. You have to appear in an appealing manner. So it's very, very important about networking. So when the my co-founder left the company, um, and it was me, I realized that no, I have to network by myself. And recently, I've attended some networks which are actually very useful, and I'm still networking and looking for investors up and there.
Okay, at this point, I think we have to stop here. It's really nice having. It was a really, really nice discussion, and thank you very much. And to our viewers, please don't forget again to like, subscribe, and comment. Any question you have or anything bothering you about your career, make sure to drop it. I'm going to relate it back to the guest and give you a response. Thank you very much, and catch you on the next episode of 30 Minutes with. I am Abdurrahman Adibamo.